Click the bell icon to get latest videos from Ekeeda.
Hello friends, today we are going to see a different welding process which is known as thermic welding. It requires some chemicals, heat, and the welding is done, and how it is done we are going to see in detail. So in thermit welding process, fusion is required. So how fusion is done? By using exothermic reaction. So this is the basis of thermit welding. One is fusion, second is exothermic reaction. Also, we can weld large structures as well as with less electrical supply or no electrical supply in thermit welding. So what happens in thermit welding? We provide superheated liquid which is poured in the object to be welded. So this is the basis of thermit welding. So if we'll say what is a thermit, it is a mixture of aluminium and iron oxide. So these two oxides are mixed, heated, and in a liquefied form it is added to the part which is to be welded. Heating is done by triggering the mixture and a reaction takes place which is an exothermic reaction. And when I'll talk about the composition, iron oxide is like nearly 75% and aluminium oxide is 25%. So the ratio would be nearly 1:3. So basically in thermit welding, end parts can be easily joined by keeping some gap in between the end parts. This gap is filled by wax. So wax is being filled and the whole arrangement, like the whole pattern, is filled with sand which is rammed properly, and the whole gating system is used like your pouring basin, risers, runners, etc. So in this diagram you can just see that all the arrangement like of the gating system is being used, like your basin, riser, etc. Your arrangement is made up of sand like your pattern. Then the two parts which is to be joined is being filled with wax at the place where it is to be joined. In this type of welding, the joints are preheated and heated max, that is the liquefied wax, is added to it, and after the welding is done, the whole arrangement, the whole gating system is being removed. So how the preparation of the material is done? As I have told you, aluminium oxide as well as iron oxide is taken in a prescribed quantity which was given. Then it is taken in a crucible. The arrangement is ignited and your ignition takes place in nearly about 30 seconds. And due to the ignition, a superheated liquid is produced which reaches to a part which is to be welded, and an exothermic reaction takes place which is shown and the gases come out. So what is done is your crucible in which your arrangement is there. If your weld is this side, your exact weld, crucible is kept up and it has a hole which goes directly in your weld. So when the arrangement is ignited, it gets melted, gases come out, but your weld which is there on the bottom side, your liquefied or super saturated liquid goes inside the weld. In this diagram you can see that how it is done. It is done in 3 stages. The first stage is of the ignition stage, in which your aluminium oxide and iron oxide is ignited and it is kept at a crucible which is above your weld. Second stage, it is getting heated and within 30 seconds it gets melted and it goes directly to the bottom, and in the bottom exactly your weld is there. So it goes to your weld and it is allowed to solidify in the third stage. With certain casting which is required, it is allowed to solidify and hence your weld is produced. You can just cut the additional part and your weld is produced. So when I'll talk about advantages and disadvantages, large structures can be produced using thermit welding. If I'll give you an example of a railway track, if it has some voids or crack in between, what happens is the casting in the shape of a track is taken. Your void is your exact weld. A crucible is kept in front or up at the above position of your void. It is having your exact mixture of your aluminium oxide and iron oxide. It is ignited. The mixture ignites, it melts, it comes inside and your void is getting filled. It is allowed to solidify and it is made. So this is a basic example of thermit welding as no power supply is used. If I'll talk about disadvantage, the process is too long. So if I'll talk about applications, I gave you one application of a railway track. In this way, pipes and other objects can be joined by using what? Thermit welding. And any of the non-ferrous metal can also be joined using thermit welding. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned with Ekeeda and do subscribe our channel Ekeeda.